Imagine being trapped in the middle of a desert, pinned against a wall by a 363 kilogram, 800-pound boulder, with absolutely no one coming to save you. This was the terrifying reality for Aron Ralston on April 26, 2003. Aron was 27 years old, a mechanical engineer and experienced climber who loved the solitude of the wild. On that Saturday afternoon, he was solo hiking through Blue John Canyon in Utah. But he made one fatal mistake. He did not tell a single soul where he was going. As he was descending a narrow slot canyon, a massive chalkstone dislodged, crushing his right hand and pinning his wrist against the canyon wall. In an instant, his life became a race against time. For the next 5 days and 7 hours, Aron was a prisoner of the canyon. He was equipped with only 350 milliliters, 12 fluid ounces, of water and 2 burritos. As the days bled into each other, he tried everything to free himself. He used his multi-tool to chip away at the rock and tried to set up a pulley system with his climbing gear, but the 363-kilogram boulder wouldn't budge. By the 4th day, his water was gone, and he was forced to drink his own urine to stay alive. Dehydrated and hallucinating, he carved his name, birth date, and his presumed date of death into the sandstone wall. He even recorded video messages on his camera, saying his final goodbyes to his family, fully expecting to die in that canyon. During his 5th night, Aron experienced a profound hallucination that changed everything. He saw a vision of a young boy running across a floor and being picked up by a man with a missing right arm. He realized this was his future son, and it gave him a surge of certainty that he would survive. However, he knew his only way out was to leave his arm behind. He had already tried to cut his arm on the 4th day, but his knife was too dull to cut through the bone. On the morning of the 6th day, he had a grisly epiphany. He did not need to cut the bone if he could break it first. Aron used the torque of his own body to snap his radius and ulna bones against the boulder. The sound of his bones breaking echoed through the silent canyon. Then he began the agonizing process of amputating his own arm. He used a cheap 50mm or 2-inch multi-tool, the kind of tool you would get for free with a $15 flashlight. It was so dull it could not even hair shave his arm. He used the pliers for the tougher tendons and carefully managed the arteries last. He used the tubing from his camelback as a makeshift tourniquet. The entire process took 1 hour of unimaginable pain. But finally, he was free. Freedom did not mean safety. Aron was still 13 kilometers, 8 miles away from his vehicle. He was bleeding out, and he had only one arm. He had to rappel down a 20-meter, 65-foot sheer cliff using a single hand before beginning a grueling hike through the desert heat. He had lost 18 kilograms, 40 pounds, and 25% of his blood volume. After hiking for several hours, he encountered a family from the Netherlands on vacation. They gave him water and alerted the authorities. Within 4 hours of his amputation, a rescue helicopter finally arrived. It later took 13 men, a hydraulic jack, and a winch just to move the boulder and recover his arm. Aron's recovery was a miracle. His severed arm was cremated, and 6 months later, on his 28th birthday, he returned to Blue John Canyon to scatter the ashes where he felt they belonged. He did not let the loss of his limb stop him. In 2005, he became the first person to solo climb all 59 of Colorado's peaks over 4,267 meters, 14,000 feet, during the winter. His story was captured in his book, Between a Rock and a Hard Place, and the Oscar-nominated film, 127 Hours. Today, Aron is a motivational speaker, reminding us all that even in our darkest moments, the will to live can move mountains, or even break bones.